Peace. Nasty Brown. Milk in the mind. Live in the man. Meek in the red. Build the
Peace. Peace. Peace to all human families of the planet Earth. Peace to a lost 5% nation. You are now entering Build the Cipher with your host, Master Brownseed. We're on episode 25, Personal Principles. Your foundation shapes your world. That's the theme for today. Your foundation shapes your world. As we look at episode 25 in our supreme mathematics, 25 is wisdom power, right? Wisdom power, the action you take and the ways you move, right? Backed by the truth and strength of your foundation, right? This episode is about personal principles, the inner code you live by when no one is watching, right? Think about that and let us begin. Let's start off with the blueprint, right? Personal principles are the laws you set for yourself. They're not handed down by someone else. They're not borrowed from religion, or they're not copied from a trend. No. They are self-written and self-enforced. Okay? If knowledge is the foundation, then wisdom is how you walk on it. Power is the strength the foundation gives you. Think about that, right? Without principle, you can be pushed in any direction the wind blows. That means that people could sway you off your principles if you are not grounded in them, right? The 5%, we understand that. We know if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything, right? Two more ways to always say in his national statements, stand up and be counted for. That's what we need to do, brothers and sisters. Stand up and be counted for, right? Let's go through some examples, right? Think about a time you knew what was right, but pressure from people or situations tried to pull you the other way, right? Your principles are the invisible line you refuse to cross. Let me say that one more time. Your principles are the invisible line you refuse to cross. Let's look at our first degree in 114, Lost and Found lesson 1. It says, why isn't the devil settled on the best part? Because the earth belongs to the original man, and knowing that the devil is weak and wicked, we placed him on the worst part and kept the best part for ourselves ever since we made it, right? Sometimes you have to border off, and that's degree. It says it's bordered off by the Indian Ocean in the south, right? In that degree. It's bordered off by the Indian Ocean by the south. That means that sometimes you have to border people off. You have to border situations off that is not going in conclusive with your principles of what you stand by and what you live by. That's the invisible line that you refuse to cross because you know you have principles of yourself. You have morals that you follow. And you're not going to let nobody take you and have you cross over to the other side. You know who your own self is. know that God is born in the mind, you know who you are, and you refuse to go against your own principles, right? A principle can be honesty. No matter the cost, you speak the truth, right? It also can be discipline. You stick to your plan, even when shortcuts tempt you. And shortcuts are tempting because you think you can get to something faster or quicker, and sometimes taking the long route is better than taking a shortcut. A shortcut can lead you into a dangerous zone, a dead end, or, just caught up in somebody else's bullcrap. You know what I mean? It can be also respect. You treat others with dignity because you know every man has the capability of becoming God in their mind, right? It just takes time. As we know that they wasn't physically dead, only mentally dead. And many have recovered from it. It's called a mental death in power. And you can recover from that, right? The world will test you. Right? Because the devil's power is always 1/3 less than the original man. Yet, that doesn't mean he won't try to knock you off your balance. Right? That doesn't mean that he won't try to knock you off your balance. The devil has a job to do, and God has a job to do. Sometimes the devil and God walk hand in hand, and you have to know how to lead yourself in the right direction and don't let somebody take you in the wrong direction. Right? These are principles, brother, that you must live by and go by. Right? Let's look at the power we call connection. Right? Wisdom power means the way you act creates strength, right? The way you act creates strength. Power doesn't come from loud talking or flexing on others. It comes from living in line with your principles day in and day out. See that? It comes from living this out, brother, day in and day out. That's why we say we are not on the clock. My brothers is moving at 24-hour clock. We're at the 25th hour. Still out here, living our principles, doing our duty as civilized people. You know what I mean? When your words and actions match you, you become unshakable. Right? When your words and actions match you, you become unshakable. Nobody can shake you, brother. You tight. You strong on your square. Nobody can shake you and make you sway. You stand strong on your own foundation. Black man, black woman. Because it's not just for the black man. Sometimes the black woman has to watch out for her own type of sisters. Because everybody's out here trying to make you sway away from your principles of what you stand for, right? When your inner law is stronger than your outer temptations, you are free, right? Think about that. When your inner law, which is the law of who you are, your foundation, your law, is stronger than your outer temptations, then you are free. Free to be you. Free to move freely, not a care in the world because you stand for something. You know who you are, and you're not of that of origin. People who do not know their origin, but you know your origin. So you are free, black man, black woman. You know what I mean? Think about that, right? Let's think about that. Building the cipher, right? Building the cipher is, in the cipher of life, people in the cipher of life, people watch you more than they listen to you. Right? Think about that. When you're building in the cipher, people watch you more than they listen to you. Why is that? Because people want to make sure that what you're saying goes inside with what you're doing. You can't be saying this, you're this. And then they catch you over here doing something else that ain't going to sound what you was talking about. You sitting there talking a good game, and then they find out that's just a game you're playing. You're not living in that truth. Think about that, right? If you claim to be God, but your actions are savage, they'll believe the action and not the claim, right? Nobody cares what you claim to be. You can claim to be Superman. You can claim to be Batman. You can claim to be the supreme being God of the universe. But if your actions don't match that, people don't care about your claim. They only care about what you do, what your actions show. It's just like Maya Angelou said. When a person shows you who they are, believe that, because that's who they are, brothers. A civilized person teaches through example. We teach through example, because a civilized person lives out what he says civilization is. He is one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinements, and he is not a savage in pursuit of happiness. And when people see this about you, you're living this out, they see it with your family, your children. When I used to live in the Bronx, also the 173rd and Clay Avenue, I was around nothing but bloods on that block. Everybody on that block was blood. But they saw me every day walking out that building with my children, taking my children to school, picking my children up from school, working. They saw me as a different type of foundation that they never saw before. And the Bloods used to come to me and build with me. Yo, brother, we see what you're doing. We like you, man. We see you out here, and we respect that. And that's all I want. Knowledge is to respect. And that's what the brothers out there did. They respected me, not from what came out my mouth, but from the actions that they saw from me. And what made that so beautiful is, one day a brother came on my block wanted to fight me. He was irate, mad, talking shit, screaming up at my window. And all the Bloods came outside. It was like, who you talking to? Not that brother. You will not put your hands on that brother. That brother is a righteous man. And they told me, yo, don't do nothing. We're going to take care of him. And the brothers got that boy off that block. Not that I needed protection or not that I needed help, but they saw me as a different light, that I don't need to be out there fighting, that I didn't need to be out there getting in no type of ruckus, because I had a family I had to take care of. And they said, we'll take care of the problem. And that's what, when people love you, that's the science of life. Everything in life, which is love, peace, and happiness. People are going to come and not let nobody take you off your peace and your happiness, brothers. You know what I mean? That's great, and that's life, right? Your principles are not just for you. Remember that. The principles are not just for you. They show others what's possible when you live in your truth, right? When you're living this and other people see it, they now start to want to act in that same truth that you're living in. And that's beautiful, you know what I mean? As I continue on, we're going to move on to today's affirmations. And I want y'all to repeat this with me. Affirm this. My word is my bond, and my bond is my life. Inhale, exhale. Again, the first one says, my word is my bond, and my bond is my life. Number 2, I move with wisdom, and my wisdom gives me power. Again, I move with wisdom, and my wisdom gives me power. Number 3, I do not compromise my principles for comfort. Number 3 is, I do not compromise my principles for comfort, right? Number 4, my foundation is unshakable. Again, my foundation is unshakable. Last but not least, I am the master of my square. One more time, I am the master of my square. Those are the affirmations for today. Repeat them to yourself. Use them in your everyday living, right? Before I leave, I would like to say peace to all. Remember, your foundation shapes your world, builds your wisdom, protect your power, and never compromise your principles. If you're feeling this build that I'm going to do, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And always remember to build the cipher. Peace. I'm your host, Master Brownsie.